The invitation arrived on a bright Monday morning, folded neatly inside an elegant gold envelope that looked far too expensive for the tiny apartment where Rowan Mercer and his 9-year-old son, Jasper, lived. The words printed across the front seemed harmless enough: 20-year high school reunion. "We can't wait to see you." But Rowan knew better. Memories rushed back like an old wound reopening. He remembered the laughter echoing through school hallways, the cruel nicknames, the lunches he spent alone, and the classmates who never missed an opportunity to remind him that he came from nothing. Even after all those years, his heart tightened. Deep down, he knew this invitation wasn't about friendship. It was about entertainment. They wanted one more chance to laugh at the poor single dad they believed had never escaped his miserable life. Before we continue, if you believe kindness is always stronger than cruelty and that everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Library. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to people around the world. Rowan folded the invitation carefully and placed it beside a faded photograph of his late wife, Selena. She had been the only person who truly believed in him when nobody else did. 5 years after Jasper was born, illness stole her away, leaving Rowan with unimaginable grief and a frightened little boy who depended on him for everything. Overnight, he became both mother and father. He worked construction during the day, delivered groceries at night, and often skipped meals so Jasper would never know what hunger felt like. His clothes became worn, his hands rough with blisters, but every bedtime smile from his son reminded him why he refused to give up. Many people mistook Rowan's quietness for weakness. They never saw the endless nights he spent teaching himself business through free online courses after exhausting shifts. They never saw him sketching ideas on old notebooks while Jasper slept beside him. Every rejection became another lesson. Every failure became another reason to keep trying. Slowly, those late nights turned into a small renovation company. The company grew because Rowan treated every customer with honesty, even when profits were small. Word spread. Contracts became larger. Investors noticed his integrity. Years passed, and the tiny company transformed into one of the region's fastest-growing construction firms. Yet Rowan never chased luxury. He remained humble, believing that character mattered far more than wealth. When Jasper noticed the reunion invitation on the kitchen table, he quietly asked whether his father planned to attend. Rowan hesitated. He wasn't afraid of the people from his past anymore, but he wondered whether reopening old memories was worth it. Jasper smiled with the quiet confidence that reminded Rowan so much of Selena. His son gently encouraged him to go, not to prove anything, but to show that kindness could survive even the deepest wounds. Those words stayed with Rowan all week. The reunion took place on a beautiful Saturday afternoon beneath clear blue skies at an elegant country club surrounded by gardens and sparkling fountains. Luxury cars lined the entrance as former classmates laughed together, proudly comparing careers, homes, and vacations. Many still remembered Rowan only as the awkward teenager whose shoes were always worn out. A few whispered his name with amused smiles after checking the guest list. They imagined him arriving in an old pickup truck wearing faded clothes, giving them one final story to laugh about. Minutes passed, and then the sound of a powerful engine echoed through the entrance. Conversations stopped. Heads turned toward a gleaming orange Lamborghini rolling slowly through the gates. The sunlight reflected brilliantly across its polished body. The supercar stopped gracefully near the red carpet, and for a moment, complete silence filled the air. The driver's door lifted upward. Out stepped Rowan Mercer. He wore a perfectly tailored navy blue suit, but it wasn't the expensive clothing that captured everyone's attention. It was the calm confidence on his face. The man they once mocked now carried himself with quiet dignity, untouched by arrogance. Beside him stepped Jasper, dressed neatly with a proud smile that reflected years of love and respect rather than wealth. The crowd stared in disbelief. Some blinked repeatedly as though convincing themselves they weren't imagining the scene. Others quickly searched Rowan's name online, only to discover articles describing him as the founder of one of the country's most respected construction companies, employing thousands of workers and funding charitable housing projects for struggling families. The whispers changed instantly. Mockery disappeared, replaced by stunned silence. As Rowan walked through the reunion hall, memories surrounded him. Every table reminded him of a different painful chapter from his youth. Yet instead of bitterness, he felt peace. Success had not erased his scars, but it had taught him that wounds could become sources of strength. Throughout the afternoon, Rowan noticed that many of the same classmates who once ignored him suddenly wanted photographs, conversations, and business advice. Some complimented his achievements. Others pretended they had always believed in him. Rowan responded with kindness, never humiliating anyone, because he understood that revenge only extends pain while forgiveness ends it. During the reunion ceremony, the organizers invited successful alumni to share a few words. Rowan quietly accepted. As he stood before the crowd, sunlight poured through the ballroom windows, illuminating the room in warm afternoon light. He spoke not about luxury cars or financial success but about sleepless nights, losing the love of his life, raising a child alone, and discovering that true wealth isn't measured by bank accounts but by the people whose lives we improve. He explained that every building his company completed represented more than bricks and concrete. Each project created jobs for parents struggling to feed their children. Each scholarship his foundation funded gave another young dreamer the opportunity he never had. Real success, he said, begins the moment we choose compassion over pride. Many listeners lowered their eyes,